My name is Margaret. I'm 71 years old, and there's a letter in my house that I've kept for 43 years. I know where it is right now, top drawer of my dresser, under a stack of scarves I don't wear anymore. White envelope. No return address. The paper inside is so thin now it almost tears when I unfold it. I've read it maybe 100 times, maybe more, and I should have burned it the day it arrived. I didn't. I was 28 when it came. I remember because it was 2 weeks before my wedding. I was living in a small apartment on Maple Street, the kind of place where the floorboards creaked and the radiator knocked all winter. I loved that apartment. The letter came on a Tuesday. I remember pulling it out of the mailbox and seeing the handwriting. His handwriting. I stood there in the hallway for a long time. I didn't open it right away. I just held it. I knew who it was from before I even looked at the name. David. We had dated for 3 years, broken up 2 years before that letter arrived. It wasn't a bad breakup, not the kind people talk about. We just drifted. That's what I told people. That's what I told myself. He moved to another city for work. I stayed. We said we'd stay in touch. We didn't. And then I met Robert. Robert was kind, steady. He had a good job and a good family, and he made me laugh. Everyone liked him. My mother loved him. My friends said I was lucky. And I was. I told myself I was. So when that letter came, I almost didn't open it. I almost threw it away. But I didn't. I went upstairs, sat on the edge of my bed, and I opened it. It wasn't long, maybe 2 pages. His handwriting was the same, a little messy. He always wrote in blue ink. He said he heard I was getting married. He said he was happy for me. He said Robert sounded like a good man. And then, near the end, he wrote something I wasn't ready for. He said he thought about me every day. He said he made a mistake letting me go. He said he didn't know how to say it before, but he loved me, really loved me, and he was sorry he never said it when it mattered. He said if I ever changed my mind, he'd be waiting. That was it. No anger, no desperation, just honesty. I sat there for a long time after I read it. I remember my hands were shaking. I remember the light coming through the window and how quiet the room was. I read it again and again, and then I folded it back up, put it in the envelope, and I hid it. I didn't tell anyone, not my best friend, not my sister, not Robert. I got married 2 weeks later. The wedding was beautiful. Everyone said so. My dress fit perfectly. The flowers were just right. Robert cried a little when I walked down the aisle. I smiled the whole day. But that letter was in my apartment, in that drawer, and I knew it. I told myself it didn't matter, that it was just nostalgia, that David was remembering something that wasn't real, that we wouldn't have worked anyway. I told myself I loved Robert, and I did. I really did. But I kept the letter. We moved into a new house a year later. I packed everything myself. When I got to that drawer, I stood there for a long time. I thought about throwing it away then, starting fresh. I didn't. I brought it with me, put it in a new drawer, same spot, under scarves I didn't wear. Robert never knew it was there. The years went by. We had 2 kids, a boy and a girl. We had birthday parties and family vacations and Sunday dinners. We argued sometimes about small things, about money, about whose turn it was to do the dishes, but we were happy. I think we were happy. I didn't think about the letter every day. Sometimes weeks would go by and I'd forget it was even there. But then something would happen, a song on the radio, a couple laughing at a restaurant, the way the light looked on a Sunday afternoon, and I'd remember. I'd go upstairs, open the drawer, and I'd read it again. I don't know why I kept doing that. Maybe I was looking for something, some feeling I thought I'd lost, some version of myself I thought I left behind. Or maybe I just wanted to know it was still there, that someone had felt that way about me once. I never answered it. I never called him. I never looked him up. I just kept it. Robert died 4 years ago. Heart attack. It was sudden. He was in the garden 1 minute and gone the next. I miss him every day. He was a good man. He loved me. He loved our kids. He gave me a good life. But after he died, I found myself thinking about that letter more. I'd sit in the house alone, and I'd wonder what would have happened if I had written back, if I had said something, if I had been honest. Not honest with David, honest with myself. I'm not saying I made the wrong choice. I don't think I did. Robert and I built a life together. We raised 2 beautiful children. We had 40 years. 40 years of small moments and ordinary days and love that was quiet and steady. That mattered. It still matters. But I kept that letter because part of me never let go of the idea that I could have chosen differently. And I've spent 43 years wondering what that would have felt like. Not wondering if it would have been better, just wondering. I looked him up once, about 10 years ago. I don't know why. I was at my daughter's house and she left her computer open and I just typed his name. I found him. He got married too, had kids, grandkids probably by now. He looked happy in the photos. I closed the window. I didn't reach out, but I thought about it. I still think about it sometimes. Not because I wish I'd been with him. I don't think that's it. I think I kept the letter because it was proof of something I didn't let myself feel, that I had a choice, that someone saw me and wanted me and said it out loud even when it was too late. And instead of facing that, I hid it in a drawer. I think I was afraid that if I admitted it meant something, I'd have to admit I wasn't sure. Not sure about Robert, not sure about the wedding, not sure about any of it. And I couldn't do that. So I married him, and I loved him, and I told myself the letter didn't matter. But I kept the letter. My daughter was here last week, helping me sort through some things. She's been asking me to downsize, maybe move somewhere smaller. She was going through the dresser and she almost found it. I stopped her, told her I'd handle that drawer myself. She didn't ask why. I think about burning it now, getting rid of it, finally letting it go. But I haven't. I don't know if I ever will. Because that letter isn't really about David. It's not even about Robert. It's about the part of me that was never completely sure, the part that wondered, the part that wanted something I couldn't name. And I kept it because I thought if I held on to it long enough, I'd figure out what it meant. I'm 71 now, and I still don't know. Maybe some things don't have answers. Maybe some feelings don't get resolved. Maybe we just carry them. I don't regret my life. I don't regret Robert. I don't regret my kids, or my home, or the 40 years we had together, but I do think about that letter, and I think I always will. If you've stayed with me this long, thank you. I don't know why I needed to say this, maybe just to hear it out loud, maybe to know I'm not the only one who kept something they should have let go. If you want to share your own story, I'd be grateful to read it, but only if you want to.